Hey everybody, how you doing? IntoWeapons back again with you. Got a new rifle to share with you today. Thought I would just do a quick unboxing video for you. I went ahead and picked up a Zastava, a Serbian Zastava O-PAP rifle, AK-47 and 7.62x3.9. And as many of you know who are familiar with my channel, I have a n-pap in the collection already, which is one of the reasons I wanted to get this O-PAP was if you again have been following my channel, I recently put out a video of my n-pap compared to the Wasser and some of the differences between the two. Got a lot of comments on my channel and a lot of private messages on the differences between an n-pap and an O-PAP, and a lot of people who mention that they have both and prefer the O-PAP over the n-pap. So it kind of intrigued me a little bit. I never really previously thought about buying an O-PAP, but being that the prices have really come down on these rifles, I thought, hey, why not go ahead and grab one? There are a few other reasons that I'll go over here in a second as to why I did that, but just to go ahead real quick and show you the prices here that we have going on. Right now as I do this video, you can still get this price from AIM Surplus. It was, I think, a base price of $530. It had a shipping cost of $13 or $14, which brought the total to $546. My transfer fee was about $32. Total investment into this rifle was $578, which is actually cheaper than Wasser 1063s on the market in a lot of retailers right now. So for the features that come along with this rifle, it's a steal for this particular rifle. And again, that sale is still going on. They have them in stock, so if you're interested in getting one of these rifles, jump on it now. Inside the box here, guys, we have the certificate that comes from the manufacturer. I don't know if you're going to be able to see that there, but as many people reported, the serial number that they have on the certificate does not match that of the rifle, which was a little unusual. In fact, this one isn't even labeled as an O-PAP, it's labeled as an n-pap. So, don't know why that is. If someone knows, definitely leave a comment. I'd be interested to find out, but a lot of people have reported that. It comes with the owner's manual in there as well, which is pretty standard. Also in the box are two 30-round steel magazines. One of these is just, this one I think it is covered in Cosmoline, so I'll have to go ahead and clean these guys up whenever I get a chance. Not a huge priority as I got tons of AK mags already sitting around. We have the importer sticker, which is pretty standard with these rifles. And then the rifle itself, which we'll go into some of the details here on the features, but let's go ahead and get this box out of the way, make it a little easier to see. And here we go. We'll go ahead and give you an overview of the rifle. As you can see, it's got a nice wood stock on there. Good fit and finish on the receiver and metal parts. The front handguards are a little bit darker than the rear handguard, or the rear stock as far as color of the wood, but still in very good condition. I might have to do a little bit of sanding, maybe some protection on there, a little tender loving care, that kind of thing. But overall, real solid rifle, guys. One thing I noticed that I know a lot of people weren't happy with, but it does have the Serbian crest on there, and I kind of like it. It gives it a little bit of character in my opinion, but I don't know why some people had said that they were hoping theirs would not come with that. If you know that reason for that, I'd be interested to know. We'll go through some of the features here real quick. We have the standard plastic grip here with the finger grooves on there. I think that's pretty much standard with any PAP rifle. It does have, like I mentioned, a real nice fit and finish here. With any of the Zastava products, they do a real good job of that. It does have a thicker receiver compared to the n-pap, as again many of you know, the n-pap has a 1.0 millimeter thick receiver. It's just a stamped receiver. This has the thicker RPK type with the front bulged trunnion, which gives it a little bit more rigidity and therefore possibly a little bit more accuracy. A lot of people prefer that. It does add a little bit of weight to the rifle. I think the manufacturer, someone had mentioned it was 11 pounds. I can't remember, one of the retailers, but I had read somewhere else that someone had put it on a scale and it actually came up to about 9 pounds, which isn't that much heavier than the n-pap, which I think is around 8.5 pounds. And then a Wasser, I think, is at 7.5 pounds. So a little bit more of a weight on this particular rifle, but it gives it a little bit more dependability, and you're not going to have as many issues with it breaking down, that kind of thing, cracking receivers, things like that, which are pretty uncommon anyway, but doesn't hurt, that's for sure. It does have the stainless steel bolt, as you can see here. It doesn't have any bluing on there. A lot of people think it's chrome lined. I originally thought it was too. Someone had corrected me on that. So, but it's easy just to wipe that down, not having any bluing on there. You can kind of tell how dirty it is, that kind of thing. It does have the dimples in here for the magazine, which is pretty standard, nothing unusual there. It does have the standard AKM sights on there, but it does actually have an insert there, and I don't know if you're going to be able to see it here on the camera, but It has an insert on the rear sight and the front sight for night sight installs, night sights to be put in. And that was one of the reasons that I bought this rifle. Someone had mentioned that this particular rifle is about as close as you're going to get to a military M70 as you can. So it's in its current configuration, it's not exactly what it would be. I guess you can change a couple things out to get it even closer. But once those couple things are switched out, it is as close to a military M70 as you're going to be able to get in a semi-auto, obviously, format. It's not going to be full auto. Changing out those night sights here from the regular sights, I guess, is one of those fixes to make it look a little bit closer to that military version. It does come with a cleaning rod in the front here. It's got a real nice thick front gas system, real nice thick front sight post, that kind of thing. Came with a Tapco slant brake on there, as well as a Tapco G2 trigger. On the other side of the gun we have the side rail scope mount, which is pretty standard. And that's pretty much it all the way through the rest of the rifle here, guys. Nothing really totally surprising or unusual. A few reasons I decided to get this rifle was, one, the price. Two, being that it was, again, as close to a military format as you're going to be able to find with, I think, any AK really on the market. And then the third thing is, I heard that because the rifle is so close to a military format, that these could potentially become a real good collector's item. So, you know, I'm always looking for good collector items to be put into my collection. You know, who knows if it ends up being that way or not, but you know, for the price, it's definitely worth kind of putting in here. One last thing I kind of want to mention was regarding the serial numbers on this particular rifle. The stock here does have a number in here, but it does not match the rifle, which I guess is pretty common for these. The certificate, as I mentioned, did not match any of the numbers on the rifle. In fact, it was listed as an n-pap instead of an o-pap. The receiver, it pretty much does have matching numbers all the way through. The receiver is marked with a serial number that matches the spring, the front trunnion, the bolt carrier, and the bolt. The gas tube does not have a number on it, and the dust cover does not have a number on it. Those are really the only numbers I was able to find on the rifle. It does have a few other numbers marked throughout that have an electro pencil in there, and they match, and that's the spring, and I'm sorry, the spring, the front trunnion, and that's it. I guess those two have the different numbers on there, which is a little bit unusual. Again, it's electro penciled, but the rest of the numbers match from the original serial number on the receiver. So that's pretty much all I had on it, guys. I guess the designation for this particular rifle, for the Yugo design it's a stamped receiver, fixed stop, scope rail, RPK type receiver. As far as I understand, the designation is M72B1N. And there's a ton of different variations out there, and kind of hard to determine the differences between the two and which ones you have, that kind of thing. But there are a couple good threads out there that can help you find that information and tell you exactly what designation model number you have with that. Other than that, guys, looking forward to doing some test footage at the range with it and seeing how it operates and making sure we don't have a feeding issue with it, which, you know, some of these PAPs are known for. There is a lot of metal shavings in there that I'll have to clean out, as well as a bunch of cosmoline throughout the rifle. So this is going to be a cleaning process before I take it out to the range. So might be a few weeks here before I get out to the range and do a little bit of test footage with it. But stay tuned for that, guys. If you have any questions, feel free to let me know. If you have any other information on the rifle, feel free to let me know. I plan on doing a comparison between the O-PAP here and the n-pap in my collection, kind of like I did with the n-pap versus the Wasser. So stay tuned for that as well. As always, guys, I appreciate you watching, and until next time, take it easy.